Hey friends, it's Gloria and welcome back to another video. I'm going to be doing a tag today. I was tagged by the lovely Jolene from Bookworm Adventure Girl to do the Tell Me the Truth tag, and I will link that video and the original creator down below, which was Shannon's Bookish Musings and Music. And this is a more personal set of questions to answer. They're not necessarily bookish, maybe a little bit more towards booktube habits and just a little bit about me. So starting off with question 1, do your friends, family, and coworkers know about your BookTube channel? If so, do they watch? Some people know about it and some people don't. I don't like shout it from the rooftops kind of thing, but close friends and family do know. I think it's like less of a thing now. When I first started it, like last year, when I was like so close to hitting 1,000 or whatever, I think like my husband mentioned it to like our group of friends, and then they were all like super excited about it and kept asking me if I reached a threshold yet or something like that. They were like being fun about it, but no one really like checks in about it now. I do have some like close in real life friends that watch videos here and there, and you know, sometimes they'll comment or they'll tell me in person. A couple of my coworkers know about it, but like I'm not embarrassed, but it's like a little embarrassing. So if like someone brings it up, I'm kind of like, ooh, do I want to talk about it with you? You guys watching and the booktube community are my book people, and there's not very many people in my actual day-to-day life that are book people, and so it's always kind of like jarring to like be like, oh hey, you want to like talk about booktube or talk about my channel or talk about a book you read, but I like it. It's just kind of like throws me off because I feel like this is my little like book world and it's separate from my other life world, even though I work in the library. But you know, some people talk about books here and there. Anyways, that's a long-winded answer. Question 2, when watching booktube videos, do you ever speed them up to save time? 100%. I speed everything up, and it's not to save time necessarily. I mean, maybe a little bit, because I'm like, oh, I can watch like multiple videos in a shorter amount of time, which is great because then I can catch up on everything. But I speed everything up. I even speed up Netflix shows and stuff. Not all of them, not like a compelling movie, but some TV shows, like the Great British Bake Off, like I will watch on 1.25 speed on Netflix. Every single audiobook I listen to is usually 1.75 to 2.5 speed, depending on the narrator. I watch every single YouTube video, not just booktube, at usually 1.5 speed or higher, again depending on how fast people are talking. Some people naturally talk really slow, so I could watch all the way at 2 speed. Some people talk really fast, so I can't really go higher than 1.5, and that's just, I don't know, like a preference thing. Maybe it's an attention span thing, I don't know, but I speed everything up in my life. So it's not just YouTube, but yeah, when there's like an opportunity to not be able to speed something up, even like a voice memo, like on Voxer you could speed people up, which I do sometimes, but just like on iPhone text message you can't, and sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, there's no button to make them speed up, and it's just like my brain has to get used to it. Question 3 is, do you watch videos from all the booktubers you subscribe to, all their videos, or just some? I would say everyone I'm subscribed to, 99.9%, I will watch videos from them. Maybe the occasional like single book review of a book that I'm not interested in, or a book that I want to read but don't want to be spoiled. Like usually I don't love to know too much about a book going into it, besides, you know, maybe general consensus. So if it's like a single book review on a book that I'm interested in, I won't watch it yet. I'll maybe go back to that video, or I'll put it in my watch later. So sometimes I'll skip videos from some people. Overall, if I'm subscribed, I'm gonna watch everything that person makes, and I religiously use the watch later playlist. I put everything into watch later and then like watch in little chunks when I can throughout my day or throughout my week or whatever. So almost everything from my subscription goes into my watch later, and then eventually I narrow down my watch later. Question 4, do you subscribe to everyone who subscribes to you, or only channels you really want to see? I guess another confession is that I like never go into the YouTube backend. Like I don't look at analytics except for comments. That's the only thing I will go to be able to respond to people, is the comments. But like I don't look at who's watching my videos, when people are watching, who's subscribing to me. Like I don't have any notifications on my phone, and I don't get them on my computer, so I don't know who subscribes to me when. I don't even know how to find that. Like in YouTube, I don't know how to see people subscribing to me, so I just don't look at that. So I guess I would have no idea how to see who subscribed to me and then I go and subscribe back to them. So I don't really do that because I just don't look at like the back end stuff of YouTube. So I just subscribe to people. I usually find a video of theirs either mentioned by someone else or pops up in my home feed or the algorithm, and I really like what they have to say or like the books they're reading, and then I press subscribe. So it's usually like a luck feel, like it's like, oh, I'm so lucky I found and I happened upon this channel or that person mentioned them, and then I discover something new. Question 5 is, do you watch, subscribe to booktubers based more on content or personality? As everyone has been saying who's been answering these questions, definitely a mix of both. Probably more so personality because that is how I started watching BookTube. The very first book video I ever watched was Noelle Gallagher. I don't know what happened, but sometime in March of 2020, a video of hers popped up in my home feed and I decided to click on it. You know, middle of COVID, lockdown, whatever. And I fell in love with her content. I don't know, I was so enthralled by the whole idea of BookTube, and then slowly realizing small BookTube existed and like other people that aren't just like huge. But Noelle and I have almost 0% overlap of our reading taste. Like maybe some classics, but I don't really read anything like she does. But I really love her vibe. She doesn't really make videos too often anymore, but that's like often the case with a lot of big YouTubers like Books and Lala. She's amazing. The content she creates is incredible and so creative, but I have maybe 1% overlap of reading taste. Like I don't read anything she reads, but I think she's so cool and I'll watch any video she makes. And same trickles down with like a lot of people that I watch. If I'm not really connecting to the person or I feel like they're inauthentic, even if they're reading books like I read, I'm less inclined to watch. But the people that I have found and like surrounded myself and have subscribed to in this community, I both love their personalities, and a lot of times because it's a smaller space of people that I'm in a circle of, they usually are reading more like me or there's some overlap, rather than a lot of like the big booktubers only read one specific genre, and it's usually not a genre that I'm reading because I don't really read contemporary romance, or I don't read sci-fi fantasy, or I don't read horror, and I don't read like the regular books that everyone's reading for the most part. So yeah, another long-winded answer to that question. Number 6, do you listen to BookTube videos while doing other things, or do you sit and watch the video? A little bit of both. Mostly sit and watching, specifically if it's vlogs or people are holding up a book video. Like I like to visualize that. Sometimes I'll do it when I'm like doing chores or dishes, folding laundry, or I'll color or do a puzzle. And those videos, like, because again, everything is in my watch later, the videos that I want to like sit down and watch, I'll watch. But then stuff that specifically like tags, or if it's like a chatty video, like that kind of thing, they're talking about a specific topic and they're not necessarily talking about a wrap up or a TBR or a specific book, those videos I can just turn on and listen to rather than watch the full video. So mix of both. And number 7, the last one, is to tag some booktubers. A lot of people have been doing this, but a couple came to mind. I'm gonna tag Tiffany from Beautiful Minutia. Would love to see you do this. Denise from La Rosa Reads, Mitzi from Mitzi Reads and Writes, and Kim from The Paper Traveler. If you guys are so inclined, feel free to answer these questions, but no pressure. And thanks so much for watching today and hearing what I have to say on some of these questions. I will see you guys in another video soon. Bye.